Good day, all. Ira Epstein of Linn and Associates with your Spider ETF wrap-up, and I'm laughing because I'm thinking of AMC. I just can't help myself. I'm looking at this market in bewilderment. And today is Wednesday, the 2nd of June, 2021. So here we are. The net change, 95% gain in one day on AMC. You're not reading this wrong, and that's slipping $10 from the high. Wow. If you had asked me why, I don't have the slightest idea. It's a blessing for anyone that owns the stock. They're giving away free popcorn. I hope you heard that. If you want to go to one of the movie theaters as a thank you, because this is a gift. This is a company that was on the verge of bankruptcy, borrowed like mad. Shareholder equity, honestly, if the company's closed today, there's none. It's negative. I don't know what their new business model is going to be, but this is thank you, Reddit. All those young traders have taken on the pros. And to a pro, to a guy like me, I look at it in amazement. I own the movie theater. I don't understand how they're going to make back what they owe. But if the stock keeps going higher, issue more stock, I guess, dilute everybody, pay off your debt, and then have reverse split, something. I don't know what you can do. You know, you're going to keep diluting people out at the end of the day. But they've got a big debt load, and they better figure that one out anyways. But we have a slew of data that starts tomorrow. It's everything from the Challenger, the ADP reports. We're going to have the ISM data. We have energy data coming out all morning long, report after report. Now, I'll be covering them at my 8:40 in the morning subscriber video, giving you my take on what we've got to that point in time at least. Maybe I'll wait till 9 o'clock because there's so many reports. We want to see how the market's going to respond. A lot of jobs data. We've got to pay attention. And the monster Friday morning when we're going to see the U.S. jobs data, and boy, that's going to be a big one. Are they going to revise last month's horrifying 266,000 job? They're looking for near 1 million, and they got 266. Is it going to be revised up? What if it's revised down? What's the new report? The whisper number is over 600,000 that people think we'll get. But I think anything with a 5 in front of it, the market will like. But I think anything from a 4 under it won't. That's the way that I'm looking at the market. When you look at ARK, it's had a nice run here, but it's clearly in a stall at this point in time. The pattern is still bullish unless you come back and you take out 110.05. You closed at 111.30, so you're in still good stead, as I'll call it. Where did you stop? The 200-day moving average. You know, when you break, and I point that to you as support, you got to understand on the way up, when markets get under these numbers and they try to find support at them, what you broke through often becomes resistance on the way back up. Just think of the logic of it, and that's what you've got there. So traders that bought and got caught, this is their get-out moment. They might take their money and go to some other investment because they've survived getting down into the 97 area. They've made back 20%, and they're saying, okay, watch out. That's how you have to understand trading. What else is the resistance? Look at the Bollinger Band. See this black dashed line? The odds of staying over that line are under it 5% of the time. And when you do them in sequence, that number drops. Now, that's my theory. That's how I work with it. It's what I teach on the course. This is where the pros are coming out, the way I teach charting. Does it mean I'm right? No. But that's what I teach, and that's what I believe. The first challenge of key moving average with that band is a lot of resistance. You're also overbought, so you've wasted a lot of momentum. You didn't waste it. You made it back using that momentum. But like any vehicle, it needs to be recharged. And often that recharging comes with sideways action or a correction. We'll see. Can it just keep going? Anything's possible, but the odds, I don't think, favor it. GameStop, let me look over at AMC. Why am I hanging down here? So way I'm going to go, and you get a 13% gain out of that, still bullish. PAVE, well, we're hearing that they're not making the best headway, are they, between Republicans and Democrats? And now Chuck Schumer is saying that by next week they don't have any of the Republicans on board or a close enough deal because they're nearly $1 billion apart, $800 billion, not a billion, $800 billion to $1 trillion apart on the programs. This money's so big you get your terms wrong. That they might go it alone and just try to pass the bill as the Democrats. So this market's just hanging at that 18-day average in this sideways action. This could all become a base for another high if they get something passed. And I know people write all the time, don't you think it's all in the market? Blah, blah, blah. Well, first off, even when they pass it, it doles out over, what, an 8-year period or something? The answer is no, I don't think it's all in the market. AMC. Remember what we talked about when you get this sideways action? And I'm bringing it back here so you see what this is. It's often a base or a top. All that sideways. It's like a spring in there and you're winding it up and it just keeps winding away. Then you're looking to see, do you get anything legit out of it? You need to get breakouts that occur, and I teach it in a certain way here. 2 days where the market closes in the top quadrant, 2 days in a row, one day higher than the other. You got them. Bye-bye. I'm laughing, but I understood the chart pattern, but I don't understand the stock. I owned a movie theater. I don't get it, okay? They're giving away free popcorn here as a thank you, and they should. You realize what they've done with this? How many millionaires? The CEO, what does he make with all of his stock? I pray he takes some money off the table if he can. Doesn't mean he doesn't believe in his business. They were on the verge of bankruptcy, and I don't know what their business model is going forward. I just can't figure that one out. The semiconductors making its run, but just like I told you in ARK, you're getting up to that key moving average, the 100-day in the upper Bollinger Band. Now, are we going to embed or did we? Both numbers are over 80, bullish. Next day, over 80, and the next day. So what do we have? We have a fully embedded reading, which tells me that on the breaks now, you're going to see, I think, the pros buying this market. They'll throw in the towel if the red line closes under 79, and until then, they'll look to get up to that resistance point, take some money off the table, I think. That's my game plan as to how I'm looking at it. PODX, this is where I'm looking for a failure on this rally. Again, the combination of a 100-day average in that upper Bollinger Band. First challenge of it, overbought market. ESGU, overbought market, not quite making it up here to that upper band. You had a big failure yesterday and no follow-through today to take that out. Be cautious in this market, overbought. Overbought in the energy sector. You're over the upper band. What do I think the first time you hit an upper Bollinger Band happens if you're a pro? I think they look, they have an order, they're out. That's what I think. You'll say, oh, then they leave the money on the table, it runs. Well, sometimes. Other times, no. Then you get over to the emerging markets. Well, I told you, I think this is the sweetheart trade for everybody. I think the whole world wants to belong the emerging markets in finance. And you're getting the embedded reading. So now I think the program is one of looking for the breaks by the pros to buy the market until the red line closes back under 79 for a correction. But I think your longer term are there. You've begun those type of moves. Gold, same thing. Gold's got a sweetheart deal right now. Not very strong inflation. It's up, but not very strong. We might have a point where the jobs market isn't strong enough for the Fed to make a move. And that seems to be what this market wants. What it doesn't want to see is sharply higher interest rates, or the Fed saying they're now going to address it. That seems to hurt it each time. I think you'd agree. So we've looked for years what could set this market off. This could be a market that in the futures, the price of gold could be $2,000, $2,400 a year from now if inflation sets in at a slow pace but consistent. Could be a very interesting game. Need to get the employment number to hurt it, and if you don't, just keeps the gold there. Gold miners, well, you still have the embedded reading, so I think the pros are still looking at this market and saying, okay, right here you were embedded, you lose it, but not under a 79 reading. It comes back, and until it's under a 79 reading, I think they're just hanging in there, fingers crossed. Can it make it up to the 40.77 level? Under 79, I think they get out. TLT. I was mentioning to you, I'm wondering if this whole rally didn't end one level, and now I'm questioning, is the market ready to turn itself back to a nothing situation? You're there now. You have the swing line down, the bias up since you're over the 18-day average of closes, and momentum is flat. FXE, when I take a look right here, what do I have? Lower highs, lower lows, but staying over the 18-day average. You think these financial markets aren't in a nice neutral position to look at what's going on? They are. And that's what I'm going to cover for you in the morning. So at 8:40 or so in the morning, sometimes just before 9 o'clock, depends how many reports of economic data I can get in for you, I cover them. So I start off talking to you about the daily charts. I'll bring in weekly charts. It's about a 20-minute video. I do them Monday through Friday if there's not a holiday. On weekends, I'm going to do a weekend video that's only weekly charts. And I'll occasionally bring in a daily chart. I cover all these sectors, and there's more charts than this. I think we're up to 41 charts right now. And I really cover a lot of territory. And the idea is, you have an idea. What does Ira think of that? XLF. What does he think of TLT, GLD? I want to take a look and see what he's saying. Because I am, as you can imagine, quite bold with my predictions. I'm not a bashful person. And I'm not also one that's scared of putting my hands in both pockets and just waiting things until I can get some of these reports out of the way. I do have a theory. Why stand in front of a train? It's rushing down. Am I going to guess to jump left or right? I'll stand out to the side of the track. As the report goes by or the train goes by, I'm jumping in and I'll catch the tailwind as best as I can. And then you've got the trend going your way because now that report's gone. What does a report do? A report can change the whole picture of a chart. So I'd like it to get out of the way. In any case, for $8.95, 24 videos a month, each about 20 minutes long, come on. Go to our website under the word research, enrich yourself. I'm Ira Epstein. I'll see you tomorrow.